My husband and I are creators, and together we have an interior design and DIY brand called Mr. Kate. My inspiration comes from everywhere: textures, colors, smells, tones, movement.
I'm the planner, doer, builder. I think process, measurements, duration.
We are passionate about designing and reimagining spaces to help people feel the comfort of home wherever they live.
So the question for us is always, how do we create magical escapes in our current environments?
Let's go this way. Come on, let's go this way.
We like to take creative risks, try things out, think outside the box, and so we're dreaming of this kind of beach setup fantasy that we can enjoy as a family. People are always curious about my process, what sparks my ideas, and it's usually a feeling that I want to explore. And right now, I'm just really craving the great outdoors. I love taking Moon out into nature, and so taking Moon to the beach is such a special experience because you have so many sensory opportunities: the sand under your feet, the water, the waves. There's treasures to find in the sand. I've never seen this kind of seaweed before. Oh, it's attached to a little shell. It's got like tendrils. I want Moon to love the beach, really. Wish we could have our own little oasis here. An oasis in the sand. That'd be so cool. It would be so nice to have some sort of tent-like structure or a yurt of some kind, which I've always loved the look of those. To actually sleep or nap and hear the waves crashing, to have the breeze going through the tent flaps, to know that the sand is literally right outside the doorway would just be the most magical experience. Maybe the easiest thing would just be to buy like a pre-existing tent.
Yeah.
And then just
I mean, a yurt is not complicated. It's
Going-
just a center post with a bunch of cables with fabric over it.
I know, but to have to cut like
Surprisingly, yurts are actually really easy to buy and not expensive. They sell them on Amazon.
no, let's not dump it, okay? Well, that happened. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley.
Daddy,
There's Kate.
what are you doing? Can I take some pictures? Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Kate.
We lived in Northridge during the Northridge earthquake, and our house was totaled, essentially. So we moved into a rental house that was so dark and dreary. Like, my memories of this house are just the gross, like, 70s carpeting left over, fluorescent lighting in the kitchen. These things just still stick out to me, and I was 9, and I still remember the kind of just like down feeling that I had being there. I think it was the first time I realized how much your interior space also plays on your emotions and your way of life. I believe that your home is your home, regardless of if you own it or you rent it, and it should be a reflection of you while you're spending the time in there. You should get something from it. The walls shouldn't suck something from you. You should absorb something from the space. To mix this one up. Tent, a yurt. It's round, but it also has flat angles to it, an octagon.
There's just so much rigidity in this world that is just the antithesis of what Kate is.
Point at the top. We've got the mountains in the background, the pointed ranges.
I think what people enjoy seeing is Kate's creative brain. The world needs that creative spark.
Okay, the tent will start out white. White is reflective. What if it reflected the gradient of the sky. Oh my gosh, a pattern, a wave pattern. Waves are patterned, but not perfectly patterned. Inside we need a bed for sure, something that can fit the three of us. But make it homey and cozy, headboard and blankets and pillows. The females in my life were always really creative. My grandma was the one who found Waldorf and told my parents about it. And Waldorf cultivated this inherent creativity, which I think is in all humans. My mom is one of the weirdest people I know, which I say as a compliment. My mom is like a DIY aficionado. I mean, she can do anything. And I think that I got a lot of my confidence from her around just being unapologetic about who I am and the things that I feel strongly about. When I started acting, I could all of a sudden be loud and boisterous with my personality because I was playing a role. So in high school, it was really fun. And then I was like, okay, now I'm 18, I'm gonna go part-time to college so I can also act. And I realized that auditioning is not as much fun as being in a musical in high school. You know, getting roles, which I was so fortunate. I don't want to downplay the fact that I did book some stuff. It was like one line here, a couple more lines there, and it wasn't as exhilarating as I hoped it would be. It wasn't feeding the creative animal inside of me. I started making jewelry. I started a blog alongside my jewelry line. That was where Joey came in. I don't know, some sort of, I mean, obviously the rugs and everything inside for him to be able to come in and play like sand-free zone. Mm-hmm. But then like outside even, we could create some kind of like contained sandbox where we could bring up some like soft or more wet sand. Joey kind of comes across as a little intimidating sometimes to people.
You want to make a sandbox on the sand?
But the underbelly of it is that he's like the biggest softie.
I think I'm just so like A-type that maybe I get tiring. I don't know.
We won't have to worry about the waves taking him away.
Oh, God.
Well, I just mean...
Well, that's not funny.
I mean, I don't take it. I just mean... Joey and I have been together for 12 years. People see Mr. Kate, I'm the louder one, I'm the more colorful one, all this. When really my secret weapon is that Joey is like, makes so many things happen. I wouldn't have the ability to like spread my creativity the way that I do without him. I just kind of sketched up thinking the exterior, interior floor plan, and then these are just some images I pulled, like inspo.
Kate likes to just dream up things, and I like to execute things. I had a very all-American childhood. Parents that are still married. I grew up in the suburbs of Indianapolis and played football and basketball and baseball and was in a rock band. Got offered a record deal. That was when like the Click 5 really started to take off. Our music video was in like heavy rotation on like MTV. We played Radio City Music Hall, we played Madison Square Garden, we played every venue that you could ever want to play. I was going to all these countries and I just felt really like ungrounded. And I think my biggest goal in life was to have a family. And I just didn't see it happening. I was starting to make a mental shift of like, how can I find that grounding that I want to create the future that I want? I just remember meeting Kate and being so drawn to her inclusiveness and creativity. And she really needs someone like me to help her sort of channel that creativity so that like there can be one focus that we give to the world. How do we make it? How do we build it? How do we create it? How do we source it? This is how it works. Kate just thinks of magical things, and then I gotta figure out how to put it all together, which is fun. It's like a puzzle.
I think that creatives a lot of times hit ruts because you have all these ideas, you have all this inspiration, but you don't know how to get it out into the world and get it absorbed.
So for this project, Kate has sort of sketched out a rectangle entrance into the yurt, like a very grand entrance. It's hilarious. It's very extra, very Kate. It would be cool to do more like a triangle shape. So all we need is some sort of structural element so we can put pampas grass and like palm fronds attached to something to give it that sort of Greek goddess place to dwell on the beach. I found some beaches that will let you put up a tent, and we could even store the supplies in our Airstream so we can like park in the parking lot and then just carry all the supplies down.
I met Joey in 2007 on the set of Taking 5.
My band, we got offered to star in a movie, and that's actually where I met Kate.
Joey and I both bonded over what we wanted out of life. We both very early on talked about how we wanted a family, and we weren't as enthralled as people might think you would be by acting for me and for him being in a band. Joey was always so intrinsic in my brand, Mr. Kate brand, which became our brand. He was always the behind the scenes guy because he made my website. He took all the pictures of me. He was like my editor.
At a certain point, we started creating content. I 100% think Mr. Kate found his voice when we did our series around our house.
Before that, Mr. Kate videos had always been just small DIY projects, little things you could accomplish in an hour's time and applied to, you know, style, fashion, interior stuff, but small things. During that time, Joey and I lived in a rental apartment, and we were able to save our money to get to the point where we could buy a fixer-upper.
No one wanted it. There was a lot of problems, and we just decided to film the whole thing.
Rather than just doing a one-off project, we were like, this is a series, and so we will have different episodes, we have different rooms, different projects to tackle. One leads into the next. All of a sudden, this new series opened us up to a whole new audience. I think it was our first time really featuring Joey in the videos as well, and just having someone to play off of and having people be able to really see our dynamic, I think, changed our identity as a brand. Now he was in front of the camera and people got to soak up his snark and our sort of like Desi Lucy dynamic, and it totally changed the game for us.
I mean, it sounds cheesy, but my satisfaction comes from sharing her creativity with the world. Because like ultimately, she's the creative powerhouse.
Joey, because he's such an amazing businessman, he figured out ways for me to express my creativity in ways that I didn't even imagine.
I have all kinds of different saws. I got my chop saw, my table saw, my circular saw, all kinds of sanders. I got my buckets of bits and screws and nails and hammers and levels and laser levels. And I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Like at this point, between all of my tools and all of her crafty supplies, like we can make anything.
So all of a sudden we were doing way more major projects, and so it challenged us to be able to start doing videos where we went into other people's homes and did the same thing.
Custom piece of artwork, but made by me.
Yeah, Joey made that.
It's very hard to make.
Like right about here on the edge.
What if the staple just like misses and it goes shooting through the air?
Well, that's why we have these cool glasses on.
1, 2, 3.
Oh my God!
When we work with people in their homes, it's a meaningful thing, not only that they're letting us into their home, but they're also trusting us to interpret their personalities.
I started working at 17 and all my money went into the home, which is great, but now I just need a little bit of help with some areas of the house that need some improving. Oh my God!
beyond the superficial meaning of interior design. It's about creating a home. Oh my God! So that's why I really take it so seriously.
What is that? Is that a zebra pulling a sled? Oh.
It's so interesting that we've done so many videos on home renovation and home design, and our most viewed video at almost 20 million views is our birth story. Joey and I were such a tight, amazing unit, and so to bring someone into that love that we have has been just so special. Coming from a divorced family, I knew that I wanted to protect Moon at all costs from going through that. And so I spent 11 years with Joey before I embarked on having a child, because I wanted to make sure that I was welcoming Moon into a very solid situation.
It's cliche, but you have a different reason for living now. I have this new person to make sure I'm giving the best possible world to. And guess what? I love a project. So I'm gonna do it.
Oh my gosh, that has got the triangle going. Is that our grand entrance?
It's your grand entrance.
Cool.
So as we got more and more into DIY, I was just naturally exposing myself to more like learning on the job type, like how do I build a set? How do I do all this stuff?
I love always pushing the boundaries of design, and this was just such a fun gift to us as a family to experience life on the beach. Obviously, not every project needs to be at this level. Everyone is inherently creative. How you tap into it can start really small, and you just should think about how you want to feel in your space and what's that one small thing you can change today that will make a difference.
We're all about helping people find their starting point, and it can end up as big or as small as they want it to be.
Mr. Kate has been along with me on my life journey as a grown-up. It's literally transformed along with me. There is no question that it's going to continue to transform as I grow as a human, as a mother. I have so many new awesome things in Moon to explore and to inspire me.
We've done so much that's been so fun and so inspiring and so exciting that I just can't wait to see what's next.
The possibilities are endless.